Hi, my name is Gina. Welcome to Care Right Urban Zen. I am an Urban Zen integrative therapist at one of Care Right's New York region locations. And this is our Zen Den in the location where I work. We're going to start today, you're going to start seated. We're going to do about a 20-minute relaxation practice. And I encourage you to sit up on something so that the hips are a little higher than the knees. You don't feel a lot of pulling in inner thighs. If your preference is to sit up in a chair, sit up in a chair, but make sure your feet are rooted into the ground underneath your knees. For today's practice, make sure you have a couple of blankets, a couple of pillows, something with a little bit of weight. This is an eye pillow. You could also use an iPhone or a television remote or any kind of a cell phone. If you're using a phone, just make sure it doesn't ring, that it doesn't have any vibrations or sounds. You're gonna be laying this on your body in a few moments. Set up your space so that you're surrounded by items that bring you joy, and that might be several items or just one item. I have a plant here in the corner. You might want to surround yourself with some candles or an essential oil diffuser. And if you like to work with essential oils, I'm going to invite you to work with an oil during the class. You don't have to. This is lemon oil, and I'm going to put a few drops on a cotton round. If you have other ways that you like to work with essential oils, by all means, feel free to do so. You could also put a few drops on just like a tissue, a face tissue. So we're going to be focusing on stress reduction, reducing anxiety, just everyday garden variety anxiety. One of the first places to start when working with the symptom of anxiety is to notice the ground underneath you. So right away, I want to invite you to make a fist with your hands and place your hands down into whatever you're sitting on. And as you press your hands down, notice any sense of lifting and lengthening of the spine. And then let that go. And as you settle back down, just make sure you're not collapsing. And now place your hands on your thighs, and right in the middle of the thighs, not too close to the knees. And then press the hands down and feel the weight of the hands, and pressing like maybe 20% of what's possible. And just feel that. Feel the hands on the legs and the legs under your hands. And now switch the cross of your legs. So the other shin is in front. If you are sitting in a symmetrical shape, just stay right where you are. And then once again, press down with the hands and see if you can wiggle a little bit more, lengthen the side of the waist, lifting the chest. And stay lifted. Place one hand on your chest and the other hand on the belly. Bring your gaze down to the space in front of you. And look down on the floor about 4 to 6 feet in front of you, and feel like a sense of a heavy lidded gaze without closing the eyes. Become aware of any softness in the backs of the eyes. Can you shift a little bit more weight to the back of the sits bones? Becoming aware of the space behind you. If it feels comfortable, float the eyes closed. Feel the weight of the hand on your chest and the weight of the hand on your belly. Connect to your breath. Begin to notice the breath flowing in and flowing out. The breath in and out of the nose tends to be more quieting for the nervous system. If you need to breathe out of the mouth for any reason, by all means, please do so. But if you can breathe in and out of the nose, go ahead and start to direct the breath as it flows in and out of the nostrils. It tends to be more soothing, quieting, feeling the cool air flowing in through both nostrils and the warm air flowing out of the nostrils. And switch the hands. So the other hand is on top, the other hand is on the bottom. Continue to feel your breath. Notice if the eyes are fluttering. Feel the steadiness, and maybe it's just the potential of steadiness in the eyes. Space behind you. And the breath flowing in and flowing out. And then place the hands down onto your thighs. You're going to set yourself up for your first restorative pose. We do lots of restorative poses in Urban Zen, working with lots of props. You want to set yourself up well so that when you come to lie down, you have a feeling of being held. You're going to do two poses, lying on your back. So you'll set your mat up. You'll set your space up. You don't have to be on a yoga mat. You could be on, a soft blanket resting on top of a carpet. Just want to have some place where you have some space to lie down. This is a good time to turn the lights, to kind of dim them down. I'm going to keep my lights on so that you can see what I'm doing. So make sure you've got your two pillows to either side of the mat. You're going to take one of your blankets and fold it into kind of a long, thin bolster. Place that toward the back of your mat. That's going to be for your head. And you want it to be about an inch and a half high. Not too high so that when you rest your head on it, you don't want the head to push up and the chin to drop to your chest, because that can overstretch these muscles. And that is not relaxing for the nervous system. That actually can agitate the nervous system. We want to quiet the nervous system. Fold your second blanket into a similar shape and set that off to the side. And then you're going to turn and sit facing away from that first blanket. Have if you're using your cotton round with your oil, have that handy. Also have your weight handy. Lower down onto your forearms. Take time as you lower down to lie on your back. If you're wearing ponytail hold, it's a good time to take it off. And just notice as you lie down on that pillow, if your hair is bunched up in any place, you want to smooth that out. If the pillow has any wrinkles, smooth that out so the skin of your scalp rests on something smooth and even. And now take the little weight that you're working with, place it below the belly button. Your knees are bent, and walk your heels underneath the knees. Heel toe the feet a little bit wider than your hips out toward the sides of your mat. Drop the knees into touch. And then bring your cotton round up toward your nose. If you're not working with a cotton round, simply notice your breath. Notice how it feels to breathe lying on the ground. You're just breathing, sitting up, and now you've got the support of the ground underneath you. Place the cotton round on your chest. And once again, place one hand on the low belly, the other hand on your chest. And you don't have to have the hands in the middle of the body. What I'd like you to do is slide the hands far enough to either side so that the upper arms, the elbows, rest firmly on the ground. And cast your gaze down past your knees. If it feels comfortable, close the eyes. And once again, connect into that feeling of the breath flowing in and out of your nose. We'll get quiet together a few times. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you, right? So you can just notice how it feels to be quiet together. I want you to feel like you have to jump up and check to see if I'm still here. I'll let you know when it's time to move. Watch your breath flowing in and out, and just feel the support of the ground. Notice the weight of your head. Breath in, breath out. . 1, Notice the shoulders and any looseness already present in the shoulders. Breath in, breath out. Feel your top hand resting on the chest, sensing any movement the breath creates under their top hand. Breath in, breath out. The mind wants to wander, the mind wants to think. That's perfectly fine if it does. And the moment that you notice the mind has drifted away from the sensations of the body, the sensations of the breath, that moment is meditation. And when you notice the mind has wandered away, gather your attention back on to the feeling of the breath in and the breath out. Sense the hand on the low belly. Notice the relationship between the breath flowing in and the chest and the belly rising, and the breath flowing out and the chest and the belly falling down and back into the ground. Breath in rising and breath out falling. Notice the weight of your hips. Feel the fold of the knees. Notice the backs of your knees. Sense your feet on the ground. Release your hands alongside your hips, palms turn up. And now with that little bit of weight on the navel below the belly button, watch the movement of the lowest part of your belly. And sense whether you're pushing into that weight or trying to pull away from it. Feel the weight just rising up and down. The belly rises up and down. Everything's moving with the everyday breath. It's like that little weight is a little personal flotation device floating on the waves of a gentle sea. And that little raft, that flotation device, doesn't push down into the ocean or the sea. It doesn't pull away. It just moves with it. Feel how that weight moves with the movement of your breath. Feel how the belly moves with the movement of the breath. Separate your knees, heel toe the feet and hip distance apart. Feel the bottoms of your feet. And then press your right foot down. You might feel the leg muscles turn on, the shin, the thigh, the hips. Can you work the strength of the right leg any amount without gripping the jaw? The jaw always wants to help. And then let that pressing go. And now press the left foot down. Feel the strength of the leg. Go ahead and give it like 100% of a press. The eyes are still soft, the tongue is heavy. And release that pressing. And now press the right foot down again. And this time just press down about 50%. And release that. Press on the left side, 50%. press right. Now this time just 20%. And release. Press left. And release. And press on the right side. This time 5%. Just the tiniest amount of effort. And release all of that effort. And then press on the left side. Just 5%. And release. Sense the breath. And the next time you breathe in, press the right foot down, any amount. And as you breathe out, release the pressing of the foot. Breathing in, pressing on the left side, and breathing out, releasing it. And that's the pattern, moving at the pace of your breath. Inhaling, pressing right. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, pressing left. And exhaling, releasing. Keep moving this easy connection, rooting down into the ground with the feet. As you continue this for a few more moments, notice the back of your hips. Same movement pattern, just place your attention in the back of the hips. Inhale, pressing right. Notice how the back of the right hip gets lighter. And as you exhale, release right, it gets a little heavier. Inhaling, pressing the left foot, the back of the left hip gets lighter. And exhaling, releasing the foot, the hip grows heavier. A few quiet moments to continue this exploration. Next time you press and release left, let that go. Set that down. Notice your hands. And then make an easy fist with your hands. Pulling the fingers in, wrapping the thumbs, nice and easy. And then open the hands out. Make that easy fist again. And opening out. Watch your breath. The next time you exhale, make an easy fist. And inhaling, opening out. Exhaling, easy fist. Inhaling, opening out. Noticing the belly. Exhaling, easy fist. The belly falls. Inhaling, opening out, belly rising. Exhaling, making a fist. Falling, inhaling, opening the hands, rising. A few more like that. If you find that this movement pattern doesn't feel interesting in your body, you can always just go back to watching the breath or just watching the movement. Exhaling, easy fist. Inhaling, opening the hands. And then let that go. Bring the soles of your feet together. Drop your knees out to the side and take the two pillows to either side of you and prop up your outer thigh bones, your outer shin bones with the pillows. You could also use yoga blocks, you could use rolled up blankets. So the soles of the feet together, the knees are wide. And now look down, without lifting your head, just look down past your cheekbones and make sure the knees are of equal height. And you want to make sure they're high enough that you don't feel any stretching in the inner thighs. And then you'll take the blanket that you set off to the side and place that over the front of the hips. There's a nice amount of weight over the front of the hips. You can also cover up with this blanket if that's more supportive for you. So you still have that little bit of a weight on your navel. Of course, at any point, if that's not supporting you anymore, you can set it off. But a weight on the navel, weight on the hips, a little weight on the tops of the thighs. And now turn the palms to face up. about 5 to 8 inches from either hip. Notice how this shape feels. This is a reclined cobbler's nose. And sense the weight of your head, the weight of your brain. Observe your heavy tongue draping into the back of the throat. Fronts of the shoulders melting into the backs of the shoulders, which are supported by the ground. Feel into the weight of the arm bones. Feel into the weight of the leg bones. Perceive the support of whatever's supporting your legs. Sense the weight of your feet. Feel into your whole body, all of the sensations. And over the next couple cycles of breath, release the act of observing, so that you're resting here for the next few moments. Resting, knowing that there's nothing left to do, nothing left undone. And I'll let you know when it's time to move. Turn your attention to the rise and the fall of your belly. Start to wiggle the toes and wiggle your fingers. Slowly rock the head from side to side. Keep the head down. Place your hands on your outer thighs and support the legs as you fold them in, like you're closing a book. Step the feet down. And now reach your right arm alongside your right ear and fold the knees into your belly as you roll to your right, coming into a side lying pose, and the head rests on the bottom arm. Press your hands down into the ground. Let the head hang as you slowly round up to sit. And once again, return to a seated shape, sitting up on a pillow or up on your chair. Rest the hands on the thighs and take note of how you feel, any shifts that may have occurred in the past 20 minutes. And one more time, rest one hand on the chest, the other hand on the belly. As you're ready, float the eyes open. Thank you for joining me for Urban Zen. If you would like to follow me on social media, my Instagram handle is GMCPics, And on Facebook, you can find me as Gina Cunningham. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.